Alright, show's recording. So, alright, well, hello everybody, this is Koda. I'm your host, and we also have another host that might be hosting, that'll be coming back to the show, I don't know. Introduce yourself though. Alright, well, yeah, this is our second episode. Yeah, it's been more than 2 weeks. Obviously, this is supposed to be like a bi-weekly thing, but due to vacation, obviously, I'd rather go to France and not be able to tape the show than stay back home and do the show. So, yeah. Let's see. I guess, do you want to start out with your articles first, or your article first? Do you want me to do mine? 'Cause we'll just switch in between. Like, usually what we do is like a furry related article, and then we do the news one, so we all share the same like sort of topic, I guess, and then do that. So today we'll probably, since it's only 2 of us today, because one of our hosts unfortunately couldn't make it. Well, actually 2 of our hosts couldn't. The one got grounded, and the other, he's on vacation, so that's understandable. I just wanted to get the show, in by before I went on vacation again, because I've been like vacationing for like a friggin' month straight. So, yeah. I wanted to get this episode kicked off at least before I leave for another week. Yeah. You what? Crap or what? Crab. I don't. Oh yeah. So yeah, that crab. I didn't check on him this morning actually. He yesterday, yeah, once he came out of my scuba boot, I took him in my glove and put him in my fish tank, and he just crawled around. I mean, he didn't look like he was dead. He burrowed under one of our rocks. Surprised he hasn't tried to kill one of our fish yet. He might have killed one of our fish. I haven't checked. But yeah, he was pretty cool. But if he's the kind of crab I'm thinking of, because there was a freshwater crab actually that I saw, because there was like a freshwater lake where we were staying at, and then there was the ocean, and in the freshwater lake there was a crab crawling around, and it looked like the same color. So that's why I was like, oh well, maybe if we put him in our tank he'll live. But yeah, if he actually does live, he's gonna get like freaking huge. So we're gonna have like crab dinner probably, because he's like, this one was the size of like a blue crab. I mean, if not like bigger, it was a pretty huge crab that was crawling around in there. So if he does end up making it through, we're gonna have a big crab who's gonna kill all of our fish in the tank, and then when he dies, we can eat him. Yes. But yeah, Krabby was doing fine. I decided it was a better chance for him living than putting him in our tank than letting him crawl around outside in the baking heat where a bird's probably going to eat him. So, just have to see. I'm surprised he survived living in my boot, because it was like squished under stuff, and like my boot was squished under stuff, shoved into this bin that was closed and locked tight, and put onto the car for 18 hours back home. So I'm really surprised that that I was very surprised when the crab crawled out of my boot. But yeah, I'll have to go see if he's alive after the show. Oh yeah. Alright, so I guess I'll start out with my article first. I was just trying to find like a furry related article, and yeah, so there's not like, they don't have that much like out there other than like on like WikiFur and stuff, but I found like news wise, like actual news, but I found on USA Today this article talking about colleges and how actually there's a lot more colleges that are so yeah, it's USA Today, and it's talking about just more colleges are actually having like furry like groups, which I know actually at Miami University, Oxford, there's they have a brony group. So, and there's a couple furs that are at Miami University that I'm gonna have to try to find. But yeah, pretty much like if I get a group of furries together, I might actually try to like start like a furry group, because you know what? There's a brony group, might as well be a furry group. Oh, that'd be pretty sweet. Just to go, oh, that'd be great. Could go around in like Halloween in like fursuits and like scare the crap out of people, like, I'm adorable but I'm ferocious, fear me. Just run after people. That'd be great. That's my goal. Once I get a fursuit, that is my goal. Just to run around and be fluffy and ferocious as usual. I will get hugs. I'll get hugs first, and then I'll be ferocious, because, well, actually, you know what, I'm always ferocious and terrifying, fursuit or not, so, you know. Let's see, yeah, it was on the article, it's like, Corey Groob likes to do what every other college student likes to do. Go out with friends, see a movie, try a new restaurant, and on occasion, don a giant homemade snow leopard suit and wander around downtown State College, Pennsylvania. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, yeah. So it's great, and I do like how it gives like a positive, thing to it, or yeah, spin to it, because there's a lot of people like here it says, in the past, some have associated the furry fandom with fetishized, criminal, or bizarre activities, but for most, being a furry is simply a way of getting involved in a somewhat offbeat art scene. So that gives a more positive spin to it, other than like, I was listening to a Furcast the other night, and they were talking about how like these people, like psychologists, went and like interviewed people like without telling them what they were interviewing them for at like Anthrocon, and like just getting like they were basically just discriminating and see who looked like they would be into like the fetish like stuff, and then just went around and interviewed them. And they actually, I think they said that they got like an ethics, like they like got called out for like malpractice, because it was not like, it did not represent the furry fandom well at all. And yeah, so that's one thing that I hate, is why it like makes it so awkward, and why like that's kind of why I don't tell my parents or like people that I know that are kind of like weary about that kind of stuff, because they are like who judge a lot, because they just, I don't know, sometimes it has a bad connotation to it, like if they look at the wrong things. But that's the thing, most people don't see the good side of it, because I'm sure if you type up furry, at some point you're gonna find furry porn. It's just a given. So if you don't like that stuff, then sorry, but yeah, talk to somebody about it. I'd like to. Yeah, because I mean, there is some. I would have to say there's a lot of stuff that I don't technically prefer to see. I mean, if it's your thing, then go. As I'm not one to judge. I don't like to judge people, but man, like there's some things I don't want to see. There's just, yeah, some things I don't want to see. But you know, I've been scarred. You know, I think one of the, honestly, like, I think the thing that I've been most scarred at was somebody told me to Google creepypasta lemons. And again, if people like that sort of thing, then, you know, feel free to, I'm not saying it's wrong to like, you know, stuff. Everybody has their own thing. But God Almighty, I Googled it, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, Slenderman, why? Some like freaking like tentacle porn with Slenderman, and oh, my eyes burned. It's like, wow, I'm never gonna play Slenderman. Like, I'm never gonna play that game again. Like the same way. Like, oh God, it was, yeah, that was pretty terrifying to me. Yeah, it was. Oh God, it was terrible, and like, now I just, like, whenever I play that game, that's just what I picture is him, or, it was just like, when he comes and gets you, that's just what I picture, like, seeing the, like, freaking, like, tentacles on his back. I was like, and then, I'm also, again, as I've said before, like, when I say these things, please, people, like, I'm not discriminating against you. If you like these things, that's perfectly fine. But this is just against my preference. But I also was looking through like iFunny, and there's a lot of like Five Nights at Freddy's like fandom people there, and like who are also like furries. So like, anyway, one of the people like followed me, and I was just like scrolling through their profile to see whether I should subscribe back, and this person had like Five Nights at Freddy's like porn on their account. And I was just like, ew. Like, why? Like, it just, oh. Like, you know, I'm fine with like the cute stuff where it's like, oh, you know, Foxy wants to be your friend and stuff. It's like, no, I've played that game. Foxy doesn't want to be your friend. He's like terrifying, but let alone Fox, like the cute stuff is fine. Like safe for work stuff. Like, you know, that's fine. Like, but you know, Foxy doesn't want to be your friend. He wants to kill you. But then again, like, Foxy doesn't want to be your friend, but I'm pretty damn sure Foxy doesn't want to suck your dick either. Like, ooh, that's what he's screaming about when he comes up and runs in your face. You know, he wants the D. That's what they made. That's what. Oh God. Oh yeah. That was quite terrible. Oh yeah. That I'd say the creepypasta stuff, lemons and the Five Nights at Freddy's porn kind of freaked me out when I saw that. And I can understand, like, if somebody isn't like, I've kind of like, when I started out with the fandom, I was really closed-minded about stuff, but I'm a lot more open-minded about things and accepting of others. You know, if you want to do what you want to do, it's your life. I'm not going to be able to stop you from doing it. But man, like, there are some things, like, when I started, just like if somebody like looked up Five Nights at Freddy's and the first thing that popped up was that Five Nights at Freddy's porn, I bet you they're gonna go around saying Five Nights at Freddy's is some like fucked up shit, because like I've never seen, you know, they don't know what it's actually like, and I don't know how the Five Nights at Freddy's like fandom is. I'm sure people like love it. I mean, it's a cool game. It scares the shit out of me every time. I have it on my phone. So when I play it, like when I get scared, I like throw my phone. So I have to watch myself, because otherwise I'm gonna crack my phone in half. But you know, I don't know, if that was the first thing that I saw like of the fandom, it would take me a little while to actually see what the fandom was about. And that's the thing, like, I think now people, like with this article, I think it's taking a good step, you know, forward. Like, yes, there's always going to be a dark side of something. There's always going to be like porn for anything. Like, you can find porn for anything. Like, you know, that's the thing. They shouldn't like base off the whole fandom on just what, you know, people do, you know, make porn out of, because you could take the most innocent thing and somebody will just make it porn because they're turned on by it. So, you know, that's your thing, it's your thing. But man, like, you know, I can see where some people are coming from, but then again, they haven't seen the whole, you know, the fandom as a whole. I didn't see that episode, but I heard about it. How they just made it seem like it was like the whole fandom itself was just like a fetish. Like, you know, it was just people who were in it for the sex. And it's like, you know, granted, sex is a natural thing, but still, like, the fandom. I mean, I'm in it for the. Honestly, I like the innocent stuff, like the happy, you know. I like the fursuits and just the friendship and everything. Like, you know. Then I'm not saying it's wrong to, you know, sexualize stuff, but, you know, when they make it seem like that's the only thing that we do, I don't like that. It doesn't show it as a whole. I mean, yes, there's always as I said, there's always a dark side to something, but that doesn't mean, like, okay, it's just like with Star Wars. If somebody made like porn out of Star Wars, people, and, you know, there's still, you don't see all the like fandom of, like, because I mean, yeah, you don't see the whole like fandom of the thing, but if somebody, you know, because now like there's a lot of kids actually that have not seen Star Wars. So if that's one of the things they saw, like if somebody made porn out of some Star Wars characters or something, and then didn't see like what the rest of the, you know, fandom was, then that's just a misrepresentation of it, because there's tons of people who love Star Wars. There's tons of different, that's the thing, like when you get a whole like group, I mean, in these like fandoms, they're just whole like gigantic, you know, they're huge, you know, communities of people. It's not just some like tiny like knit group of like, I don't know, it's such a diverse thing. You don't have to be exactly, you know, one way. I mean, it's broad spectrum of people, and I don't like it how people are so quick to judge. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's like a mainstream like thing that happens. So yeah, definitely, I mean, if you're in the furry fandom, you kind of got to accept that, you know, yeah, we are kind of different, because it's not like a mainstream thing, but still, people that go to like Comic-Con and stuff, regular like Comic-Cons, and dressed up as comic book characters, and, you know, they're different too. That's the thing, you shouldn't be ashamed. I mean, the way they make they don't have, you know, people don't have any problem with, I mean, yeah, you might get like nerd screamed at you or something for, you know, going to a Comic-Con and dressing up, but I mean, people don't see it morally wrong. But no, when you dress up as like an animal or something, they freak out. It's like, it's the same thing, you know, cosplaying is something. I mean, I don't see any problem with it, and, you know, if you like, yeah, that's the thing too. It's the same, like, you know, with me, like, I cosplay for like Comic-Con and stuff, and it's the same thing. Like, I like something, so I dress up as that person or creature or whatever for, you know, for the Comic-Con. And that's the way it is with the furry fandom. They like something, they make a persona, and then they dress up as it, you know. There's nothing wrong with that, and they make it seem so freaky that, oh, they dress up as animals because they're so weird. It's like, people dress up as what they want, like they want to dress up at, you know, all the time, unless you're like a nudist or something, and don't dress up in anything. Yeah, but oh yeah, yeah, there's, yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Like, I don't have a fursuit. I don't even have anything furry yet. Uh, you know, I but you know, I've made my way into the fandom, and I'm trying to like contribute. Which, if you haven't seen it yet, you guys should check out my Vine page. Yeah, look at that promotion. But you know, yeah, I've been really trying to like start up a Vine and get, you know, stuff going. Which yeah, yeah, I've been just trying to get myself out there and contribute, because I mean, I was kind of like a closet furry for a long time. Like, I just interacted on computer, like online and stuff, for a long time, and I was really shy. But I want to actually start getting myself out there and doing stuff, because it's kind of, you know, yeah, I like doing stuff for people. Bow wow. You know what? Here's a Vine of my studio. Oh. Hey, did the video go out, but are you still recording on from your camera? Fuck. Wait, so what are you recording on? Cause yeah, if no, I have headphones in. That's why I wanted you to do the video thing, cause great. So this whole show right now has nothing from you. Woohoo! It's just me talking. Great. Well, it's been mostly. Well, crap. Fuck. So you're not recording on anything? No, remember I said I was doing my microphone. Alright. Alright, say something.
La la la.
Alright. Well, I'm recording now on the thing. Shit, fuck. Well, you guys will have a nice video of me talking to what seems to be myself for however long it's been taping. And it's back to shitty audio. 22 minutes. Okay, yeah, 22 minutes. Now it's back to shitty audio, and now you'll be able to hear who we're talking to. So introduce yourself again, since this whole time you haven't been recording.
Okay, everybody. Hello, this is K9. This is K9, Psychopath.
Yeah, alright. Well, I already did, well, at least I did my article first, so, you know, at least it wasn't much that, they missed, I guess. I guess you do your furry-related article now.
Alrighty, it's not so much as a furry article from the furry fandom, but it can help. Listen here. In Tampa, Florida, there's a young kid. He's 8 years old. His name is Kenny Lewis, and he has his own YouTube channel with his dad doing funny videos and stuff, and it's called The Kenny Show. If you want to watch it, we'll leave a link in the description the description area. But Kenny walked into an animal shelter, kennel, and saw all the animals, the cats and dogs and stuff, and he learned at an early age what happens when they don't get adopted. And there is tens of thousands of animals that once they hit the deadline, they're put down. Nothing's wrong with them. They're just homeless animals that need a good home, and these animals are on death row. Once they hit a certain number of days, they're killed. So, a lot of people, and even myself, I've been guilty of it, where I'd go into an animal shelter, look around, and not think twice about it. But Kenny, this 8-year-old boy, started a mission, and he's doing video outreaches on his YouTube to try and save, animal lives. And when he was asked, why are you doing this, and he says it's just the right thing to do. And his ultimate goal is to make a dog and cat's dream come true of finding a good, safe, loving home. And if you want to go to his YouTube, check him out, help him out on his mission, like, share, tell other members of the furry fandom, and leave him a comment. Give him some support, because that is a very heartwarming story. How someone so young can have such a big heart and doing something that you don't really hear about. So that's all I got on that one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Yeah, sorry I've been silent while you were talking, but I've just been playing around with visual effects because this is really entertaining.
Wow. Heartwarming story, and you're playing with visual effects.
It is heartwarming. Well, actually, you know what? While you were talking about the heartwarmingness, I was playing with fire, literally. Ooh, cool! I have steam coming out of my ears. I should just keep it like this the whole time when I talk. Yes. Actually, there's a king's crown too. Actually, no, I like it coming out of my ears. It looks like my ears are farting. Like.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Do you have another story?
Yes, I do. I'm trying to figure out how to deselect. Oh yeah, now I found it. Ooh, there's a nurse's hat. Yeah. Sorry, I'm amused by
Look, I
very
know
simple
you
things.
like the furry fandom, but please stop dressing up on computer.
Oh, cool! I got a beer circle going around my head. Woohoo! Yay! Oh, now my head's on fire. Yes. My blazing hair. Some of that blazing hot. Ooh, yeah.
Rub it in. My video effects and video camera broke, and now I have to listen to you play with yours.
Alright, okay. So I will play the video for this just so you can hear, but it is amazing. But okay, so this is the article right here. CNN mistakes sex toy flag for ISIS flag at London Gay Pride. Okay, they got one thing right. That's definitely not Arabic. CNN devoted a segment to purported ISIS flag that was spotted by correspondent Lucy Paul in London during the city's Gay Pride celebration Sunday. If you look at the flag closely, it's clearly not Arabic, Paul said. In fact, it looks like it could be gobbledygook. But it's distinctively the ISIS flag. That gobbledygook appears to be an assortment of butt plugs, dildos, and other sex toys arranged to look like the ISIS flag. Paul went on to cast suspicion on a man dressed in black at the festivities who, she said, was displaying the flag. I seem to be the only person who had spotted this, and nobody seems to be raising any questions or pointing it out. ISIS had reportedly murdered gay men by dropping them off buildings. CNN removed the video of the segment from its website Saturday afternoon.
Wow.
I need to play the video for this. This is great.
An unnerving sight today at a London Gay Pride celebration. An ISIS flag among a sea of rainbow colors. CNN International assignment editor spotted the flag and was able to snap these pictures. Joining me on the phone from London is CNN's international Lucy Paul and CNN national security analyst Peter Bergen. So, Lucy, I want you to start off explaining and describing what you saw
that's great.
and the reaction to it.
Hi there, Suzanne. Yes, I was just leaving work and I came across the Gay Pride March, an annual event in London where tens of thousands of people march through London. It's a very jovial, light-hearted atmosphere, very happy atmosphere. And I was just trying to cross Regent Street, one of the main shopping streets in London, and I had to stop because the march was going down the street. When all of a sudden this man, quite distinctive from the rest of the crowd. He was dressed in black and white, whereas everyone else was brightly colored, as you can see from the photos. This man dressed in black and white was waving what appears to be a very bad mimicry, but a very clear attempt to mimic the ISIS flag, the black and white flag with the distinctive lettering. I mean, if you look at the flag closely, it's clearly not Arabic. In fact, it looks like it could be gobbledygook. But it's very distinctive, the ISIS flag. Anyway, I seem to be the only person who had spotted this. And nobody seems to be raising any questions or pointing it out. So I immediately went to an event organizer who said he didn't know anything about it. I also spoke to the police nearby who weren't aware either.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And my head's still on fire.
Oh boy, where was that?
It was in London. And they thought it was an ISIS flag, but I was looking at the picture of it, and it was great. Like, it had a standing up dildo. Like, it was arranged like the ISIS flag, but it had, like, standing up dildos and butt plugs and, like, a cock ring on there or something. And it was great. That was great. That guy is such a troll. I bet, like, the police officers, like, came by, like, what are you doing? Like, it's... I'm an advocate for butt sex, damn it. It's not an ISIS flag.
Oh, dear Lord. Well, hopefully the majority of our news today isn't just in London or the UK, because that's my next news story.
Yeah. Alright.
Are you ready?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before you start, I gotta add an animation to my head. Let's see. Ooh. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is great. Yes. Alright, go.
Alright. In the UK, a man named Ian Salter Balmsley, 55-year-old, in a wheelchair, in this news article, they described him as suffering from dwarfism, which he's just, a short man of 4 foot. He's 4 foot tall. I'm trying to read this right here. Yeah, 4 foot tall man. And for those Doctor Who fans out there, pay attention. Mr. Bromsley was upset over a few things, and he took a sucker dart and put it on his forehead, shoved some dominoes in his mouth, and rolled up on 2 cops yelling, "Exterminate, exterminate, I'm going to kill you." Pretending to be the famous villain, a Dalek from the show Doctor Who. The cops proceeded to pull their tasers out and tasered Mr. Bromley not just once, but twice. In the court hearing, when the cops were asked why they tasered him, the officers stated that the 55-year-old, 4 foot tall man in the wheelchair made them fearful for their life. So picture this. A 4 foot Dalek, or a guy pretending to be a Dalek, rolling up saying exterminate, and 2 cops on their feet could not compute that this was a joke, and they tasered the poor guy. There's more to the story, because apparently Mr. Bromsley had some other problems that he went through, and we will leave the link to that news article in the descriptions below. But oh my goodness. At least he wasn't in America, because he would have got shot with live rounds.
No, that would only be if he was black.
We here at the Fuzzbutts Show do not condone any racist type of behavior or anything at all.
No, we don't condone that, but it's just like the truth. Like, I remember hearing about some guy, like, I listened to FurCast a lot. That's why I was really, like, inspired to start doing, like, a show that was like a podcast, because I really liked it. It's fun. And I was like, hey, that would be fun just to hang out with people and do it. I don't even give a shit if people watch it. It's just fun to talk about stuff and do it. So, you know, anyway, I ended up, I heard about this thing. This guy did like, I forget what it was called. It was like some drug though that, he basically thought he was like Thor. And this guy was like so totally wasted that he or totally like stoned or tripping or whatever, that he attacked a cop and he was like, "I am Thor, the mighty god, you can never take me down," and started like beating the cop, and the cop tased him twice. The dude ripped the tasers out, like the taser studs out of his body, and started punching the cop, and the cop eventually just knocked him out. And it was just great. It really was. It was hilarious. And the whole thing was like the cop knocked him out. Like he had a gun. But that was a funny thing, because they were like, "Oh, of course he's white. That's why they didn't kill him." Because like, oh man, like if I have somebody trying to, like, the guy literally did not care. He was trying to like kill the cop because he was like freaking high as fuck. But you know, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was pretty damn funny, but it's like, you know, of course, they'll, you know, shoot somebody that's doing something like that when there's actual, like, danger. But, you know, when somebody has, like, a squirt gun and it looks like a gun, they shoot the shit out of them. But, you know, common sense, I guess.
Did this guy have the Thor hammer?
No, I don't think he did.
I bet you if he had the hammer, he would have got shot.
Yes. That would have been great. Yeah. No!
No!
Mjolnir.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that would have been great to see. Like, that would have been really hilarious to be that cop. Whoa. Yeah. That would have been pretty damn funny to see. Honestly, like, I would be very entertained by that. If I was that cop, I wouldn't be that. Yeah, it would be funny to just, like, sock him in the face, but then again, I would be very entertained by Hi Guy, because, yeah.
From all the stuff I see on the media with, you know, cops shooting people and stuff on the main news, why is it that this is not on the main news, where you go on YouTube and you see cops breakdancing and stuff and having a good time and actually, you know, having fun with the public? You see that.
Yeah,
if you go on YouTube and you look it up, you will find cops doing positive stuff.
That's the thing. The news doesn't, like, they don't. The good news is the spicy stuff, the bad stuff. Anything. That's why you don't hear about anything really good that happens over in Afghanistan or anything, because they don't care. And it's the same thing with, like, cops. You don't see the good side of cops. You only see them, you know, shooting people down, and then riots and stuff because people, like, freak out, like, cops are so terrible. Like, you don't see the actual. You don't think that hurt. I mean, yeah, there are some cops, like, I mean, there are some instances where it was the cops' fault and they should be accountable for what they've done. But don't start a riot over it. You know, it's kind of dumb to, like, you know, burn your own city down because of this, you know, what the cop did. If he had I mean, you should know how to react around cops. Because, like, if you're breaking the law, then, and you don't abide by the law, and you're trying to attack an officer and look like you're going to attack an officer, chances are you're going to be tased or shot. So, that's the thing. Like, they may, you know, they take these things way too far and, like, escalate it and start into riots. And that was the one thing that, like, I did not like hearing. I mean, you know, it's my own opinion, but I did not like it how they kept on calling, like, the Baltimore, like, riots, the Baltimore protests. It wasn't a protest. When you throw rocks at cops and you, like, storm everywhere and loot and burn things, it's a riot. It's not a protest. And riots are against the law. So they have the legal right to stop it. And they're like, oh, they're trying to oppress us. No, just look at the law. You can't. You have the right to assembly, but you can't start a riot. If it's a riot, then you're gonna, get it stopped. Like if it's civil disobedience or, I mean, but or a riot, it's just gonna, if you take it out of control, you're not gonna get anything by. That's why I really liked learning about like Gandhi's method and Martin Luther King's method, because they really when you show that you are, when you're peaceful about things, people see how much, it's just like with, gay pride. Like they didn't go beat up, or at least that I heard of. I didn't hear any, gay people go beat up people because they were, angry about stuff, or like start riots because they were angry they didn't have equal rights. They peacefully, sought out justice, and they eventually got it. But if you go around and you're violent about stuff and you beat the shit out of people and, say like, hey, I mean, if you peacefully protest against something, that's one thing. But if you start a riot, it's a completely different thing. I mean, people are just going to say like, well, that's stupid. I'm not going to, I don't want to support something like that, because that's dumb. Like the majority of people will think, well, if these people are violent all the time, then why are we going to, I don't know. People should solve the. I mean, yeah, diplomacy does suck sometimes, because how the government works. It's a long freaking process, but yeah, it may be a long process, but it's a lot better doing it that way than to go fuck shit up and think that it's gonna get better immediately, because it's not. You're gonna end up destroying the place you live at, and going to jail, and damaging your reputation. I mean, I don't know. I just think it was a bunch of, that just wasn't the best situation right there. And the thing was, too, like, the parents of the guy that died in Baltimore were like, we don't do this for him. Like, why are you doing this? Like, don't start a riot. I mean, it's just like, yeah, it was a shitty thing that happened. And I'm sure that, if they haven't already, that they'll, figure something out, like, as punishment or something. I don't know, but... it's honestly, people take things out of control just because they can, and you just, I don't like that. You gotta have some control in things, and you have to understand that starting a riot and being unruly and beating people up is not gonna really get your point across to people. If you want to actually, get your stuff passed, whatever you're fighting for, passed through and actually change the world, then you got to figure out that violence isn't the answer, because it's not. It's doing it peacefully and going through the long ass process that gets it done. I mean, yeah, it might be a long ass process, and yes, there will be people that oppose you, but if you work at it hard, you'll get it done. I mean, whatever. I mean, honestly, everybody has gone, in America has gone the wrong way, with the rights of all people. And yes, there's still more stuff, discrimination that people have to fight against, which I understand that, yeah, there's a lot of what you see in the news is these, African Americans getting shot by these cops. And yeah, some of this stuff is really, obviously it was the cops' fault. They should have not, done that. I mean, but you have to know that police will use lethal force. And sometimes it is not, they use it wrong. They shouldn't have used it. And, it's their judgment. It's that specific person. It's not the cops in general. It's not the government. It's that person. So, I mean, yeah, but there's things that people have to work for, or to fight for still. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of, just fighting against discrimination and, stuff, but there's always going to be discrimination from somebody. We can have laws that will help, at least make it, things legal, but still, it's just like with, African Americans, they were freed, but still discrimination lived on. It takes a while to buffer out that discrimination, and yes, there's still plenty of discrimination between everybody. other people I mean, it's not just white people discriminating against black people. It's not just, you know, straight people discriminating against gay people. There's discrimination everywhere. There's always going to be. You can't fix the human the human condition. That's why there's wars. There's always discrimination. There's never gonna. I mean, if you look at history, nobody's ever. It's never gonna be perfect. But you have to work with what you have, and that's the thing.
There's always going to be a hater out there that is going to dislike something that you're doing. You can't make the whole world happy with one thing. That's why we're different.
Yep. And that's the thing. That's why you gotta be happy with yourself. And that's what I've been trying to tune up on. Because, you know, I'm more comfortable with myself now. Especially after joining the furry fandom. Because I really learned that, you know, I have friends. And, you know, it doesn't even matter if I have friends. Like, because I'm happy with myself. And if people don't like me for who I am, then fuck them. They can go fuck off. The thing, a lot of people, you know, then again, I'm not going to be, you know, rude and outrageous to people, but I'm going to be myself. You know, you still be polite. I mean, that's the thing too. Like, things that your like parents teach you. I know a lot of people complain that their parents, you know, have kept them from being themselves, which I can understand, like the pressure with that, because I kind of feel the same pressure. You know, I don't tell my parents that I'm a furry or that I like certain things, because it's just, it would be awkward and weird. But, you know, the things that they've taught you is just that you need to be polite and respectful to people, and that should be a universal thing. I mean, yes, be yourself, do your thing, but be nice to other people. You know, like our, you know, school would always say in the morning, like, treat others like you want to be treated. And that's how you should, you know, that's how you should live life. It's just, you know, love yourself, be yourself, but treat others the way you would want to be treated. I mean, I guess if you want to be treated like shit, then I guess you're going to go treat other people like shit. But, you know, kind of ties in with karma. If you're an asshole to other people, eventually it's going to catch up to you. So, I don't like being an asshole. If I am, then sorry, but, you know, I don't know. I try to be as nice as I can to people and as accepting as I can. I try to be as open-minded as possible.
And I'm also noticing a lot of bashing from one side to the other after the court hearing of gay marriage was done with, you know, the gay community and the Christian community. I want to touch up on something, if I can, and make something, you know, perfectly clear. Because I, K9, am a Christian, but I'm not one of these idiots, these false Christians, I call them. And yes, if anyone is one of these guys in listening, I call you false. You need to actually read your Bible instead of going out and holding signs of hate and, you know, oppressing people. And yes, I say you're oppressing, but you say you are not. Kind of makes me upset to where, you know, the true Christian faith is a message of love and peace and coming together and understanding, you know, but where in the world are you coming off with, you know, holding up a sign that says God hates fags and stuff like that, but yet you're going to go off and say, oh, but we love people. Okay, all right, you're sending the wrong message.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to preach or anything like that, but in the Bible there's two sections. There's an Old Testament and New Testament. I will tell you that in the Old Testament some stuff went down. There is sections in there to where it says that God isn't pleased with homosexuality stuff and all that. He was very vengeful and all that. But there was a section in there to where God kind of backed off. And he made, you know, a symbol that is on Facebook everywhere to hold that promise, and it was the rainbow, where God said he's not going to destroy anything anymore. And later on, there was a new chapter, God's new way of dealing with things, and it was Jesus. And nowhere in that area does it say anywhere that Jesus said he hated anybody or condemned anybody. His message was 100% love.
Yeah.
You know, And so, I have a lot of, gay friends and stuff, and they know I'm Christian. I'm not a radical out here, trying to convert people or whatever. But if my message that I'm trying to get across, like right now, touches a life,
Yeah.
I'm not out here being violent.
Yeah, I don't really like to go into like religious like preaching either, but my philosophy is, which it's, your own opinion is your own opinion, and if you believe in God, you believe in God. If you don't, you don't. I mean, it doesn't. The way I see it is like all religions. After reading up and kind of learning about all of them, I kind of just think that religion is a way for people to explain things, and I mean the Bible was written by people, so I mean even if they might have I don't know I kind of feel like religion is just the moral standpoint for people, and some people use religion as an excuse to say, oh, these people are terrible for what they do, gay people shouldn't be alive because God hates gays, but it's a dumb excuse, because religion is more of a point of love other people and love yourself and do good for yourself and do good for other people. And that's really what I take away from it. I haven't been much of a really religious person, but that's what I've taken away from it when I went to church as a kid. So that's what I saw.
It's a dumb excuse and a false excuse, because you will never find that in the Bible at all. If you do take the actual time and read the thing.
It's just
and that's my message to these people out here that are so angry over, the gay community and stuff like that. Stop your hate and actually read the book that you're proclaiming.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like when people use like the Bible as an excuse for that, I mean, yes, they can work their words around to it, but it's just like when people are trying to interpret the Constitution. The Constitution can be interpreted in so many ways. Like with the Elastic Clause, Congress can use the Constitution to say, oh, this is constitutional, when other people disagree with that. And that's the thing. With the Bible, people can like stretch their words and make it seem this way, because of one quote, but that's just interpretation. Doesn't mean that's actually what it was meant for. You actually have to, it's just a whole different thing of like understanding. And I hate when people use, stuff like that as a basis of why they hate somebody. And I think too, a lot of people just, you need to, that's one thing I learned. You need to figure out for yourself what you stand for and what you believe in. Because, I mean, if you just go off on what your parents say and what religion says and what your peers say, then you're not really ever going to be yourself or know what you stand for. And that's why, I'm glad that was the thing. When I joined the furry fandom, that's really what I did. I went off and I was open-minded about things, and I still am. And learning about new people, making new friends, and it doesn't matter to me what gender, age, sexuality, color, race. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. That's the thing. Like, that's why I wish all people were like that, just open-minded about stuff, because it's really just too bad when people aren't.
Yeah, and that's another thing about the furry fandom that I really, really enjoy, to where, before I got into furry fandom, I was in cosplay. And there was so much drama in cosplay, it almost ruined it for me. And I went to a con, and I ran into my first fursuit, and I loved everything about it, the creativity and everything. And the dude that was, that made the suit, that was wearing the suit, he was really, really nice to explain everything. I got to see this guy out of suit. And, he was, a black guy, but, that doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter what someone looks like, because, this creation that he was wearing came from, inside of him, and he developed this. And I'm not saying, I have a problem with people of other race. I don't. I'm just trying to make the point. You know, people should stop looking at other people from what color they are, where they come from, or anything, because what people have inside of them is amazing, and it can turn your life around. You know, even if you're in a sad or a bad point, there is a lot of furries that I communicate with, you know, on a day-to-day that I tell them, hey, you know, I've seen you on YouTube and stuff, and their videos help me.
Yeah.
So in that circle, you know, I hope that my creations that I build, like I have a fursuit of Canine, which is a cyber husky, and I've created, you know, two other personas, one being a drunken kung fu cat, you know, and another Serval type character who loves jazz. You know, these are reflections of who I am, and you know,
Yeah.
it's amazing how creativity can help other people, and you don't have to say a thing. You ain't got to talk. It's just, you know, someone looks at, you know, this, and you could not even know it. You could help somebody by just going up to them and giving them a hug and change the whole aspect of how their day was going.
Yeah. Yup. Yep. Yeah. I agree with that. So
yeah, I have a couple guests that couldn't make it today. Well, we might have them on the show when we edit, because Catalina said that she would try and get with us later on to do, you know, a segment. And if you want to check her YouTube out and her husband's YouTube, which he is Jay Tigerclaw, we'll have those in the description. And we also have a possibility of having Zabu the Serval on our show too, which he is very well known on YouTube.
alright, yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't know. This has already been like an hour show, so probably we'll just add the guests onto we'll do guests on the next show, which will be in about 2 weeks. Tomorrow I'm going to Miami for orientation, which lasts for like 2 days, and then Thursday I leave for Lake Cumberland, so I'll be gone till like Sunday. So yeah, and I'd say yeah, about two weeks or so. Well, yeah, it is bi-weekly, so yeah, 2 weeks to get prepared and everything, and get my mic stuff set up. Which, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, it was good seeing you, talking to you, Fuzzbutts. I'm gonna take this fire animation off because it's now driving me nuts. Yeah, I'm Koda, and that is K9. Yeah, it was good talking to you guys for the Fuzzbutts First Show, episode 2, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.